罗老师，今天如果是在就是整个过程里面有什么问题的话，我已经提前跟他沟通过了，我们可以随时说中文。
哦，好。我刚刚说了一个好，它自动翻译成了 Thank you。
啊，他这个我想想，因为没办法，因为要实时字幕，它就会实时字幕，它会识别英文的，然后那个翻译它又会，反正就是两个体系，一个是中翻译，一个是英翻中，一个是对，会有那个。你说中文，到时候我看一下 Wiki 来。
Hello, Alex. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks.
Hi, Chopin.
Hi, Abby. Good morning.
Good morning. Where are you now?
I'm at home.
Okay, great. So you're back to Wuhan now?
Yes, exactly.
Is Ricky here now? Alex,
Yes.
did you see my email? I added one function is to demo how to remove 50 hertz noise.
Yes, yes, I saw this.
Great, great. Okay, thank you. 陈老师，那个在这个讲解的过程里面，因为就是有时候我有可能我和我们的客户呢会听的不是很明白，然后呢这个数据分析这一块呢我完全也是不懂的，然后到时候有可能如果比如说罗老师问到的话，要麻烦你帮忙翻译和解释一下，有一些问题比如说一些术语之类的，对，这个要麻烦您。
好嘞，好嘞。哎，那个后来你给那个龙老师发邮件了吗
？Sorry 啊，我现在加他。Sorry。
哦。
他那个像
就直接把这个会议的会议号和密码发到他 QQ 里面就可以了。
没有会议号和密码。我在微信上，转给你了。
你找老板聊过了吗？
没有。
有没有什么时候找他聊了？
那个过年的时候不是发一次工作汇报吗？在工作汇报里面，邮件里面提了一句说我要开始写毕业论文了。
他说啥了吗？
他没有回邮件啊，他啥也没说。
还是得找他对面说哈。
你写多少字？
没数，但是估计也差不多这个字。
还要数吗？
没看。
通过
那你
万。
写的谁有方法了？
前面我字数不够，我没有写多少，我就先搭了个整体的。
我主要是写前面啊。
我先把
发材料我估计要写很久，因为东西太多了，知道了。
照理来说，方法应该是最简单的吧？它没有什么。
不知道。哎，那个，在说啥来着？哦，你有毕业的文章是吧？
有的。
哎，我还没有呢，正在投呢，很尴尬，不知道能不能投出来呢。
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Alex, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good, very good. It's a long time.
Mhm.
What's the time in US?
What time?
What
It's
is the
it's
time?
6 p.m. 6 p.m.
Ah,
Right.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much
Yeah,
for
you're welcome.
没有这个结果。
so anyway, we are going to start the meeting. Ah, okay.
Sorry, I was on phone just now.
Okay.
Yeah. We are going to start in 1 minute. Chobin, can you please confirm with Dr. Long to see if she coming?
Okay, I just sent the link to her and she didn't reply yet.
Oh, she didn't reply? Okay.
Yeah, she's supposed to receive your email, but don't know.
黄老师，
OK
你可以把那个链接发在群里面，让大家进来吗？
好，稍等一下。Ricky, please confirm with your customer to see if they are all coming now. In Fujian?
大家点那个链接就可以进去。
Ricky, you are mute.
I mean, I will not push them to join. The link is already sent to
Got
them.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I think we will start from now. Anna? Oh, wait, we have more customer coming. 罗老师，您那边准备好了，跟我说一下哦。就是其他老师已经进来了的话。
好的。
罗老师，早上好。
黄老师好。
早上好。
需要大家都开
志峰
摄像头
Ricky，
吗？
这是那个志峰跟志峰介绍一下吧，这是昆动所罗雷老师。
哎，你好，罗老师，你好。
你好，你好。
罗老师，这位就是之前那个秋萍和 Vicky 您肯定都认识了，上回有见过面。然后 Eric 这里是我们的销售的同事，他是负责主要中国区的销售工作，叫李志峰。
李老师好。
你好。
然后
Alex
他是这次他是 Neural Explorer 的创始人，也是我们这一次培训的主要的讲者，就是这位 Alex， all this customer who is joining now, Luo Lei and Anna and other customers are from Kunming Institute of Zoology, Chinese Academy of Science.
Okay. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. 各位老师，那个就是不知道如果有没有需要在就是在软件的上方更多那里可以打开实时字幕，就是它可以 有一个，就如果是说英文的话，它会有一个在下方有一个实时字幕出来，在更多，然后是语言和语音那里有一个辅助字幕。因为有时候会有一些口音，还有我们也不是英语的讲者，所以有时候会听就是没有听得很明白。然后我们跟 Ricky 跟陈老师，就是我们也会在就是会随时就是如果有问题可以提出来，我们可以一起来讲解一下。因为有时候我们自己也会不是说100%能够捕捉到他的信息，对。还有一个是我有提前跟 Alice 沟通过，我们这边可以讲中文，因为就是主要是面对咱们这一次罗老师这一边的培训嘛，所以就是为了让这个培训效果更好，因为毕竟英文的培训的效果有可能不能够最优化，所以呢我们中文沟通这个有提前沟通过的，不用担心说不礼貌之类的。
刚才加入的应该是龙老师。
龙老师能听到吗？
他好像静音了。
好嘞。Alex, we have another customer from Xinqiao Hospital. Dr. Long is joining.
Okay.
Yeah. 罗老师这边咱们昆动所这边的小伙伴们都已经加入了吗？那个罗磊老师您静音了。
我这边给你放，我也是第一次用这个，然后我不太
他有一个没事，他那个麦克风那里静音跟取消静音，就是其他是
人员，OK， 我看一下。
好嘞，那个字幕的话，它是在更多，然后语言和语音。刚刚那个安娜老师她有设置好我看到还有其他小伙伴刚刚才加入，我们稍等一下。
查在不在？华俊，是可以了，因为时间到了，要不咱们就开始吧，都已经9点6分。
好 ，OK，好的，各位老师们，我们可以随时用中文沟通，就是我们一定要让这一次的培训的效果，达到最好。有什么问题要随时提出来，可以用中文提问题，我们会随时帮忙翻译。OK, Alex, we might start. Before you start, I would like to introduce the training, like the training agenda, for today. Please hold on for one moment. 各位老师好，我们今天的稍等一下，我可能需要共享一下我的屏幕啊。我们今天的话呢，其实是主要针对老师们提出来的几个疑问。这一次 Neural Explorer 的培训的话呢，也是相对来说较为基础功能的演示正在。不好意思，包括一是就是上次在实验记录过程中出现有类似呼吸的噪声，如何就是非常规律的占据了一整段数据的这个呼吸的噪声如何来排除？第二个是如何来消除50赫兹的噪声？因为这是在数据处理中较为常见的一个噪声。第三个是power spectrum 是频谱图。第四是spike firing range 放电频率。第五是 raster。还有第六是PSTH 4季后时间直方图，所以这几个都是较为常见的数据处理的方式。然后在就是因为之前也有听说各位老师对于 Neural Explorer 就是这个之前可能并没有特别熟悉，所以它很多按键的本身这个操作我们不知道怎么操作，然后里面有一些名词我们也是可能不大了解，所以这一次的培训尽可能我们做到细致一些。这次的培训大概是会目前预约好的时间是1个半小时到10点半。 那我们如果各位老师有什么问题的话，可以随时提出来。那我们现在就开始。Okay, Alex, your turn. You must start. 老师有什么疑问吗？刚刚
I have some question.
Yeah.
Hello, Alex. Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Hi.
For now, it's me to use the NE. So, I have never used similar things like this. So I almost know nothing about how to deal with the data and analyze the data. So I have first question. I have downloaded the manual, but the first question is I don't know how to follow and how to do with the manual. I can't understand. Can you teach me how can I learn from the 说明书怎么说
Manual.
The manual.
Yeah, I want to learn how to. If I
Yeah, so what I would, so let me just close this one. So maybe the easiest way would be to use online documentation, not the PDF file or online sort of the help file that comes with the program. So for example, let me just share the screen. If I open Google, there is neuroexplorer.com/docs. That's the documentation site for NeuroExplorer. Do you see it?
Hey Alex, can you also
Yes,
send this link in the Teams chat window?
Sure.
Yeah, thanks.
And so here you go to tutorials, and then it's all HTML. Then you click on one of the tutorials, like the first one, and go screen by screen. And I know you. I think you cannot use Google Translate, but you can use some kind of translation option in your browser in China. So since it's HTML, you can translate it into Chinese. So that would be the first step to do. Just go screen by screen, look at the buttons, look at the screens, and try to follow the suggestions from these tutorials. So that would be my recommendation on how to start. And then after this, it's kind of after this you will just follow maybe my presentation today, and then you'll have some idea of how things work. And so because you may want just to get the idea of the workflow. So how do you start? How do you select the channels to analyze? How do you visualize your data? And then how you select the analysis and how you look at the results. So that's the basic workflow is in these tutorials, like look at your data, first spectrum analysis, etc. So I don't know how to get, so I'll close my sharing. And so where is the, okay, options, show, where is the chat? Okay, I see it. Okay, meeting chat. So that's the link to the documentation.
Thank you, Alex. 罗老师，安娜老师，他的这个解释， 您刚刚那个还有没有其他的疑问？他的意思是 PDF 的可能很难，然后他有一个网址，他刚把那个网址放到聊天那里了。
那个网址我也看了，然后 PDF 我也看了，就是他展示的那个最开始的那个 ED Viewer 那一步是非常的好学的，因为它那个教程里面都是直接软件界面截图嘛，就是非常的直观。但是到了后面分析阶段，比如说分析那个 spike 的频率啊之类的那种分析阶段，我就有点看不懂了，因为它那里面，好像就没有像ED Viewer 一样那样子那么直观的，就是说软件界面是什么样，然后说这个选项代表什么意思，它好像就需要有一点基础才能理解那个。
哦，明白。他一会儿就会讲解接下来的就是比如说 raster 啊，那些 firing rate 啊这一些功能，看一下是怎么样。如果他在讲解完之后，就是讲解完的时候还有什么疑问，我们再及时提出来。因为目前应该是没有其他的更详细的解释了，就是他们这边没有其他更详细的文档了。
其实我的意思是，就是比如说我们今天主要想要分析的是那个 firing rate， 然后之类的这3个指标嘛。如果以后我们的实验超出了这3个指标，想要分析其他的，那不可能又组织一次会议来当面问他。我就想说，如果后面要用到其他指标，我们可以自己去翻懂那个说明书。就是所以我想让，比如说今天结束之后，他再示范一下其他的东西，按照那个说明书我们该怎么看懂，怎么样自己，就比如说不是今天讲解的 firing rate，其他的那些指标怎么跟着那个说明书来学会在这个软件上怎么操作。
这个我可以尝试，我们可以尝试沟通一下 Alex. So here, like Anna, the question proposed just now is actually like he know this website and he tried to use 1D viewer before, but the question is that except for the function we demo today, they will always have other functions to be used in the future, but in the manual, it's not so detailed. Like for each step, each options is not so detailed. Like to tell you each variable what it is mean and what does it use for. So in the PDF manual, it's not so detailed. So she's wondering if we have a way to solve this, like to have more detailed instruction.
So currently, I don't think I will be able to provide all the details for every analysis. There are too many of them, but we can go over a few of them, and maybe we can kind of start with the goal. So what is your goal? What you are trying to achieve? And then what kind of results do you need? What kind of insights into your data you want? And then I can recommend you. So the only kind of general. So when you go to analysis, when you go to analysis, what is that? Okay, that's this one. To analysis, let me just share the screen again. Just a second. Okay, share screen. So when you go to Neural Explorer, the whole documentation, then you go to reference, and then analysis reference.
Yes.
And then analysis types. So it kind of gives you the high-level view of what analyses are available. Spike train structure. So if you want to learn about the structure of your timestamps, these are the analyses you want to use. And then visualizations, rasters, dependencies between, if you want to look at the correlations between channels, these are the analysis you have. And then for continuous data, you have another list of analysis, and then the last one is for the waveforms.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. I think
that's where you start.
Yeah, I think the problem is with the detail, not with the like high level, like to see if what kind of function they are using, they are going to use. But the problem is with the detail, how to operate and how to get the results. I think that is the problem. But I got you now. So we do not have much more detailed information. I will communicate this with customer. You may start with your training today. 安娜老师，这里应该是没有再更详细的一个操作的步骤。就是我们这个问题，我们可以之后再沟通，比如说是否安排多一次的培训等等之类的。目前因为今天的时间只有1个半小时，我建议我们先开始今天的就是这几个功能的培训。
好，
好嘞。Hi, Alex, you may start. Thank you.
Okay. So, and also,
sorry, Alex, I have a question here. Just now you showed us a list. Is that all the functions we have in Neural Explorer?
Yes.
Like all the analysis methods we have in Neural Explorer?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
So you can see all these methods here in analysis panel in the Neural Explorer screen.
Yes.
So let's just start with the workflow, or should we just immediately load the data and then try to get rid of the artifacts?
Like Alex, how long will be the workflow introduction takes?
I don't know, like 5 minutes.
Yeah. If 5 minutes, then we may go with workflow first.
Okay. So you open Neural Explorer. You have this, 4 panels: files, properties, analysis, and variables. You just open the file either from the file tree or going through file, open, or import data. Since you are using Alpha Omega, you have Alpha Omega data file. So you can specify you want specifically one of the Alpha Omega data files. Or Neural Explorer will guess from the file extension. So for example, here I have your files with MPX extension. So Neural Explorer will guess that this is Alpha Omega file, and it will use import routines for Alpha Omega. So let's do this. I just double click here. So after you load the data, you have the list of data, neurons, intervals, waveforms, etc. You can kind of look at all of them in this variables view. And of course, you all saw that this view has a preview column where you can look at how the data looks. And by default, in your file, when you have neurons, all the neurons are selected for analysis. So after you loaded the file, some analysis work only on neurons, some work on continuous variables. So you want to select the type of variables that you want to analyze. So first you usually look at the 1D viewer. So you go to View, just to look at your data, 1D viewer data window. And here we have kind of synchronous firing, which is breathing artifacts, basically. All the spikes are synchronous and they correspond to the artifacts. If you want to look at the actual artifacts, we can add variables from continuous variables, for example. So you can select several variables press this button, add, and apply. So you can see that you have these artifacts, and then the spikes are actually only at the artifacts times. Then if you want to scale time or y-axis, you can use these 4 buttons on the toolbar. Let me know if you don't see them. So if you want a wider range, you press the button horizontal arrow, so you see more and more time kind of period, time period that's shown gets bigger. If you want to zoom in the waveforms or continuous variables, you use the last 2 buttons, vertical arrows. And so that's how you start. So then you can scroll. You can actually zoom in on any kind of area, kind of any time interval. If you want to zoom in, it's done by pressing Control and using mouse scroll. So you can zoom in and zoom out. We can go over it a little later. Just an overview. Okay, so after you've done this, you want to close your 1D viewer and then look at the selected variables. So yes, we have only spike selected. So let's start with, for example, interspike interval histograms for those spikes. This message says interval filter not found. I was playing with cleaning the data, so you can ignore it. That's okay. Just exclamation mark, no problem. It's not an error. And here you have typical analysis parameters dialog. You specify, like we are looking at the intervals, you specify minimum and maximum interval, bin, and then.
Sorry. Sorry. It's now we are going to analyze the spike, right?
Yes. Okay, so go ahead.
How about the noise?
Yeah, so it's an overview. We'll deal with the noise later. It's just
Later.
the workflow. Yeah, just 5 minutes later. Just an overflow. You open file, you look at the data, then you press on analysis you want to run, and then in each analysis you have analysis parameters. Just I wanted to show you the general capabilities. The variables you're analyzing and data selection. We'll play with this data selection later because it's very important. And then some post-processing and export options. So this is what you'll get when you press OK in the analysis dialog. I think, yeah. So that and then so these are the pictures. If you want to export the graphical results, you go to graphics, export graphics, and you have all kinds of options. You can save in different file formats. You can send to PowerPoint, etc. Also, you can, if you need numerical results, because all these are bin counts, you go to View, Numerical Results window, and this one shows you bin information, where it starts, and then bin counts for all the variables. And also with the results, there is a summary tab that shows you more information, like standard deviations, etc. So maybe if we'll, so that's the general idea of analysis. So let's do quickly some analysis of continuous data. So we unchecked all the neurons. You can actually collapse neurons here. So you can collapse all these groups. We don't need waveforms. And we want to analyze continuous data. So let's select, you click on the first channel and then go down with the mouse pressed. Then I did right click with the mouse, select variables corresponding to selected cells, and then we go to analysis of continuous data and do, for example, power spectra. Data is fine. This is default, more or less. So this is the spectra of your data. I've limited display to some small range, so let's do like 2000 hertz. So the only peak you have is like here, which is like 840 hertz for some reason in your variables. Pretty high frequency noise. So also when you move your mouse, you can, when you stop your mouse, you will see the information of this specific data point. Again, if we go to view numerical results, you can see all this, and with summary, we see all kinds of information, including frequency bands. So that's the general overview of how you use Neuro Explorer. Any questions? Because the next I would then we'll work on the artifacts.
Alex, are we like you talking about artifact going to to remove the breathing noise?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, great.
Okay. So first I would I looked at your data, and this is what I've done. So first let's add more space to our displays. So I would press on this auto hide like a pin button to hide these two left panels. We don't need them anymore. And then let's select continuous channels, all the SPK channels. So we go from 1 to 32, right click, select, and then look at the artifacts. So and make it a little bit bigger time range. So what I would do is I would go over your channels and find the channels where it's interesting. First 16 channels have artifacts. Last 16 they don't have them, right? So first I would find the channel that has the most kind of prominent artifacts. So let's, for example, channel 7. Channel 3 doesn't have this area, but channel 7 has this one area and this one that are kind of artifacts, more pronounced than on other channels. So one simple way of so then I will then let's, for simplification, not just for so that easier for us to look, we will show only SPK 7, SPK 007, and we'll work with this channel to find the artifacts. So we deselect all, apply, it's empty. And here we select continuous variables and go find SPK 007. You can just double click and apply. And we can increase wire range.
Sorry, Alex. Why do you change? Why did you change? Select channel 7 because channel 7 has more complete noise.
Yes, it has more noise.
Okay.
More noise than other channels.
Okay.
So if we, because in another file there was a subtle difference, but we want some channel that clearly shows you the noise.
Okay.
So the simplest and manual option is to right click. So I'm right clicking in this 1D viewer, and on the top you see mouse modes. We want mouse mode on mouse click and drag add interval. So that's what we want. I select this mode, create new interval variable, specify the name, noise 1. Okay. And now,
sorry, Alex. Sorry, Alex. Just now, when you right click, there's several options on the mouse. What is the differences between them?
So when you right click, first group is mouse mode. So you can use your mouse to select time intervals, for example, or select or add events if you have behavioral events, for example, or something that you want to add to your file. So this group, then you can edit properties of the display. You can copy values, and you can do stuff like auto scale continuous and waveform variables. Let's do this. That's a useful parameter because, if, for example, if you have a channel that has kind of only in a few short periods very large values, then your y-axis will be squished. So so you just press auto scale. For this one, that's kind of it's scaled to this particular minimum and this maximum. But in cases where your artifact is huge, then it's a very useful option, auto scale. Okay, so now we go to add interval. So for example, we want to remove this interval from analysis, this particular kind of artifact. So we right click, add interval, use existing, noise, we already have it. And then you see the mouse pointer, do you see it change the, So now you kind of click on the start of the interval and drag to the end. And when you release the mouse, you have an interval now, for noise. So I would, let's do more like for this one. Also we can add. So now let's go back to the normal mouse mode and then just zoom out. So that's how you can manually zoom in on a specific area, add an interval, and then these intervals will all be added to one variable, noise 1, because in your Explorer you can have a so-called interval variable that contains a number of intervals. Okay, so this is noise, and it's kind of course tedious, and of course if you have free students, you can ask them to do this, but and this is also for something that's hard to kind of identify. For example, you have in one like a few seconds of experiment, the animal moved or something, and it's just a huge artifact, and you can and there are only a few of them, and you can do this manually, and you'll be done. But this is not the end. So how to proceed from this? Because now we have noise interval. But instead of using noise interval. So when we do any analysis, or almost any analysis in Neuro Explorer, you can specify which data from which time intervals you want to use. So for example, if we want to use data from everywhere except these two intervals, to do this, we need to invert the intervals. So create the intervals that are opposite to these ones. It's also in this right click, and then say invert interval variable, and then we call it clean 1. So you can see the result. So now we will analyze only data within these three intervals, and we will ignore data in these two noise intervals. So that's the manual way of getting rid of artifacts.
Sorry, Alex. but like the last step, like to invert the intervals, like except for the first two intervals. So during the third interval, there's still many noise. How can we get rid of them?
Yeah, we'll do this later. It's just
okay.
It's just to know first. The main idea is that you have to use intervals. So the way to get rid of so and then you can do all kinds of analysis and just say, okay, I want only data from clean one intervals, and the rest of the data will be ignored. So next step, how to automate this? I did some experimenting with the data transformations, and I found the following procedure useful. So let's remove the intervals, clean one, remove, apply. So first, in my experience, the best way to get rid of this, kind of bad signal periods like this, artifacts like this, where the energy of the signal goes up, is to first to get a square of this channel. So basically square the values so that we'll have a I'll just show you the result. To do this, you go to edit operations on data variables, and here you select cont mult cont, so continuous multiplied by continuous. So we select as channel 7, general, just general idea is square, so square 1007. Run the operation and press close. So by the way, so this is operations on variables is a very useful dialog. So once again, let's just cancel. Once again, you go to edit operations on data variables. You'll use it a lot. So we'll go back to multiplication, select SPK7 twice, and then just run, press run, and close. And so let's look at the multiplied vars. So this is the result. So if you square the values, then you have from 0 to some kind of high values. And the next step is to make a smooth curve out instead of these peaks. In order to do this, you use so-called digital filtering. So you run a low pass filter. So you eliminate all the high frequencies, and only the low frequencies remain. So go to edit menu again, and then there is another menu item, digital filter continuous variable. So you press this one, and we want our multiplied, and apply, and the result name will be low pass filter. We select frequency low pass, filter order 3, frequency cutoff 4 Hertz. Press OK. So we go, so now it's low pass variable. We visualize it, and you see now it's kind of makes sense. So instead of this signal with lots of peaks, we have really kind of useful signal that we can threshold. So now if we can say, okay, I want to create intervals where this low pass variable is higher than a certain threshold, then you automatically will select all the noise periods. So so to do this, it's not in the user interface, but I wrote a script, and this script is actually became so I have this scripting capabilities of Neuro Explorer, which uses Python language. So if you have in your laboratory, if you have kind of programming oriented people who know programming a little bit, I would kind of advise you to let them learn a little bit of Python and then use the capabilities in Neuro Explorer. But for neuroscientists who don't want to mess with scripts and go through a lot of kind of menus and typing and errors, etc., I created an option. So I have this data menu that can be modified for each customer. So when like for example, for this training, I created a plugin in Python that will show up in the data menu. And to get this plugin, there is a special option in help menu called download support files. So all you have to do is I'll send you an email. For example, you need something else, or you need to modify what we have now. You need to modify how you find these artifacts. So you can kind of email me, and I will talk about the changes and can modify the script and send you the number. So I know I just uploaded the script and with the number 70. So all you have to do is again help, download support files, say 70, okay, and when you go to data, there is a new command that was not there before. It's just for you, find artifacts. So you press this find artifacts, and it has two parameters. Select the channel you want to basically. The script will do the same thing that we just did manually, with SPK07 channel. So it will square the signal. It will run low pass filter, and it will threshold, find the intervals where the signal is the low pass processed signal is more than 1.5 standard deviations from the mean. Press OK. See, so what happened? So it created two new variables, clean and noise. So let's just again visualize it. Every time you do something, you want to visualize. So apply. Let's do SPK 07s, 08. Then we want to visualize what we just created. We created clean and noise intervals. And we go to view, or there is this 1D viewer icon. Open 1D viewer, and now all our artifacts were detected. So we don't need to do anything manual. So we have a clean set of intervals, and if we do any analysis with this clean intervals, we will not use the data that correspond to the breeding artifact.
Thank you, Alex. So if we are going to like after this step, if we are going to use the clean data without the artifact, what kind of which channel we should choose to choose the clean channel or still 007?
Okay, so this is so we just used 007 as a kind of a channel that has artifacts. The next, so the main result is that we have this clean set of intervals. So we can, for example, so let's, and let me show you how. So now, remember when we saw our spikes, if we look at the spikes are all kind of correspond to the artifacts. All the spikes are incorrectly identified. So I can show you how to redo the spiking with only within the clean intervals, and we will see completely different timestamps. Okay, let me show you. Okay, let me show. So we want to reselect find the spikes in all the SPK channels. So I'll just go find this first like 16 channels. So first let's remove everything. Then select 16 SPK channels. Then we go to detect spikes analysis. And use all the standard options, for example, automatic threshold value type. But the main thing we have to do now is that to go to data selection and say we want, usually it will be like this, none. And we say we want only data from clean intervals. So it's the last tab in analysis properties, data selection, only clean intervals. Okay. Okay, so this is like the waveforms. We don't care much about them. But if we go back to 1D viewer and visualize the neurons, so we have now this. So from the channel 001, we had 23 spikes. Now we have 339. And let's just visualize those spikes. Let's visualize the old ones and the new ones. So we have all the variables, and then so these are the original spikes that came in the file, and these are the new spikes that we just found because we said ignore those intervals, and now we have completely different set of spikes, except for here maybe, but this is a little bit of kind of adjustment later. So look, so we have original spikes were all coincided with the artifact. The new spikes are normal. They are all over the place, and they don't have anywhere in with the artifacts areas. So then we can go to actually sort spikes if you want, but we can skip it for now. So that's the idea of how you use these intervals in the analysis.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. 那个安娜老师，您这边就是刚刚的，就是它的大体的思路跟操作，有没有什么疑问呢？
我想确认一下，就是因为它演示流程的时候是先演示了那个右边那个 analyze 的方法，然后再演示的去除呼吸噪音的这个顺序。但是实际在分析数据的时候，是应该先做去噪声，再做那个右边那个，比如说柱状图啊之类的那种分析，是吧？
是的，他第一回他先讲了右边的那一个是他想把整个工作流都给讲完，就是从如何导入数据，然后到导入数据之后选择数据，然后呢使用右边的分析方法，这是他的第一部分。然后第二部分他是讲去除噪声的，就第二部分呢是进入我们今天的那个主题，就我们有提出几个问题嘛，就是几个步骤嘛。但是我们是一般来说，您分析数据之前，应该是第一步是先去除噪声，去除那个呼吸的噪声。这个呼吸的噪声是 他刚刚也讲了有好几个步骤，就是他先讲的是一是手动的那些步骤，第二个部分是他是觉得这个手动的步骤呢是比较多比较复杂，所以他写了一个专门为我们这一次写了一个 script，就是在右上角那里